Gigs in a list. Giglist. That's the premise of online Perth music guide Giglist. I asked Shaun Street, Giglist's founder and gig curator, to tell me about Giglist and how he's pivoting this local artist initiative in these difficult times. Thanks for joining me today, Shaun.
My pleasure, Sue. Thanks for having me along.
Tell me about Giglist.
Like you said, it's gigs in a list. That's how we started this idea. Perth didn't seem to have a definitive one-stop shop where you could find live music in one list. We needed something that was going to help the musicians of Perth get their information across to the public of Perth with the least amount of fuss and distractions. And that's why we created Gigs in a List, Giglist.
It's helping people who just want to be able to find live music.
That's it. It's who they are, where they are, and what time they start.
Basically giving people awareness of how they can support local musicians.
And there are so many people working really hard behind the scenes. It's like there's just this one piece of information that was just missing. Where do we find these gigs? You know, all these promoters are working really hard. You've got radio stations working really hard. You've got the musicians, the venues, agents. Everybody's working so hard to make this sort of thriving live culture. And yet the people of Perth were just complaining, going, where can we find this information? And they're sitting on their Facebook pages, scrolling through different Facebook pages, and started scrolling around trying to find that information. It's taken you at least 5 minutes. You've sat down, you're on your couch, someone's fired up Netflix and someone's ordered a pizza. Therefore, you're not going out to see a live gig. So that's what Giglist is designed to do, to get you off your couch. There's a gig map, hit that, it takes you to where you are, and there's a little guitar. Oh, where's that? Oh, it's just around the corner. Why don't we go there?
How has coronavirus affected Giglist?
Oh, decimated. Lost all our gigs overnight. We are a gig guide. If there are no gigs, we will list no gigs. And in time, that will be something with which we can reflect upon, look at it in the statistics, for example. We can see the effect that this had on our culture. And when people want information in regards to what gigs were happening, how they finished up, how they were recommenced, and where they started, what areas, and how slowly or how fast they recommenced, that's the information Giglist can provide.
In what ways do you think musicians or bands could collaborate with Giglist?
Make sure that you're ready. Every artist has a link. You click on your name, it goes to a separate website, whichever website you want, whether it's your Facebook page, whether it's your official website, whether it's your agent's page, all that. Get in touch with Giglist, make sure we've got the right link for you. Submit your gigs by sending us an email or sending us a link via our Facebook direct message page. You go to our Facebook page, Giglist WA, and you just send us a message, say, these are the gigs I've got. But in the future, we've got our Giglist developers created these wonderful forms that you can fill in. We look at your submission, make sure it's correct, it's not clashing with anything else, or we've got conflicting information, and then we'll upload it straight up into Giglist. Come on, Perth, be ready. We're going to hit this thing and it's going to be the biggest summer ever, I reckon.
I love hearing that. There's so many online gigs happening at the moment too. Are you accepting online gig notifications from people?
We figured that didn't actually reach the brief for Giglist. However, if you have a live stream coming up, a Facebook event for that live stream, please send it through, because we are using our Facebook page to publicise those.
Brilliant. Thanks, Shaun. You also have a lot of support around you in the community as a musician and as a music manager and Giglist as well. So well done on all your hard work. I hope things change in the not too distant future.
Yeah, well, watching the growth, we've got this wonderful heat map for last year, and it shows all the hot spots around Perth of where people were playing throughout 2019, and we listed about 18,000 gigs in 1 year. We are so excited to see how it just explodes when we get started back from coronavirus. I just can't wait.
And that's an awesome note to end on. Thanks so much, Shaun.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the time, Sue.